A healthy person wants 100 things, but a sick
Yeah.
person only wants one.
And what is that? What is that one thing they want?
Just to be healthy again. Hello, and welcome back to Wiser Together. This is your host, Parmeet Kumar, with your co host of the podcast and my brother, Anas Pasha.
Hi
Here,
guys, how are you? How are you, Parmeet?
good, good, bro. How are you?
Great, bro. Yeah.
So
Great,
here we
doing
are
great.
doing episode 13. We're a quarter of the way in. And I just wanted to thank everyone for being a part of this, joining us, listening to us, uh, engaging with us in any way you have been. We truly, truly, truly appreciate your support. So keep doing that in any way you can. The primary purpose of this podcast was to have conversations that and exchange that energy that helps us do a bit of self reflection and forces us to be in that position of uh, observant mind where you can genuinely detach yourself from everything and have a clear perspective. Uh, that might not make sense at this point, but all I'm trying to say is just trying to get the positive. We're trying to get the positive vibes going on. So thank you for joining again and support us in any way you can. And
Yes,
yeah,
thank you so much, guys. I mean, Parmeet put up a very solid forward, and I would just like to add one more thing. Appreciate the things that we might sometimes take for granted. As Parmeet mentioned, we're in episode 13, and so far we've, like in the beginning, while recording with these technicalities, we've had like small glitches. But my God, like yesterday, we wanted to record this and we couldn't. We're still facing them some issue with our podcast hosting platform, but it just feels so good to be recording this because yesterday we couldn't do this. We were at this for one
yeah,
hour, and it was something for us as little as press record, and boom, it was done. But right now we've had to find ways, just to get this out for you. And
yeah.
speaking of things that we take for granted, what do you think about health? I mean, health is one of those things that I guess everyone takes for granted.
Yeah, as you guys might have caught on, the topic for today is sort of health and things that may follow from there. But yeah, 100%. And I feel like all of us have been in that boat, right? Where we have taken something for granted, but we eventually end up in a situation where we have these epiphanies and realizations that what truly the value of it is, and be it health or with any other thing, right? It's, you know how they say, when you have something you don't truly recognize the value of it, right? And health is something 90% of the time we're healthy, uh, so we tend to take it for granted so much and really compromise on it, and we do that time and time and time again, and until it comes to a point where we're put in a position of self reflection and truly, we sort of get a reality check. So this happened to me actually in the past week. I hurt my back got injured, and it's happened in the past, and usually my immunity is good and acts up. Everything I don't really get sick for more than a few days, but
Yeah.
this back pain lasted for a week. It's still there. It sort of made me, I felt helpless. I couldn't work out, I couldn't do a lot of things. My movement was very restricted. My mood wasn't the best, and one quote that kept coming to my mind was that when you're healthy, you want to do 100 things. No, it goes like, a healthy person wants to do 100 things. A healthy person wants 100 things, but a sick
Yeah.
person only wants one, right? So that truly,
And
uh,
what is that? What is that one thing they want?
just to be healthy again. And then when they're healthy, they
Yeah,
put health aside and start chasing everything else.
absolutely.
And then, yeah, it's only,
No, my God, it's such a I don't know, it's such a funny thing. The same thing when it happened to me. Um, at that moment, all I could think was just getting back on track, like you were saying. And when I did get back on track, I started neglecting it again. It's just,
yeah.
yeah, it's so true. As humans, we're just bound to keep on repeating ourselves. This is what Churchill said, that insanity is repeating the same things again, expecting different outcomes. So we are just some dogs chasing our tails.
That's
So
what humans are, right?
yeah.
Basically. But I know you had you went through that period as well where you had that illness and you weren't feeling yourself for a few weeks, 2 3 weeks. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but uh, so you've been through that journey, and
Yes.
you put it. You said it perfectly. That again, like you're a prime example of it, and so am I. Right? Been through that experience, and everybody has obviously been sick. But once you get out of it, you neglect it so much. Why? Why do we do that? Why do we take it for granted so much?
Well, of course, it's just I mean, it's something intangible, I guess. I mean, it's like you can't really put a finger on it. It's but like you said, a person is looking to get well. That's it. And looking, why are they looking to get well? Is because they just want to get back on track. They just want to get back on doing things. And we as humans tend to think that we are untouchable, and that like if we just wing it, we'll be fine. I mean, I guess that was fine when we were teenagers, or some
Yeah,
people who were younger, and something really couldn't touch us. But as we're getting older, I mean, the I don't like to think of myself as that old, but come on, like we are definitely
we're
reaching our
getting old.
30s.
We're
Yeah, we
yeah,
are definitely reaching our 30s, and definitely that comes with a lot of physical changes. That comes with a lot of this and that, especially for men. Um, Lower levels of testosterone can play a huge role. I keep on saying this. It just testosterone is such an important hormone, not only for men but women as well, for overall health. However, there are other chemicals involved as well, other minerals, vitamins that we require daily and that we just neglect. So health eventually creeps back up, and until this keeps on happening to us again and again, we'll keep on neglecting. I mean, I guess, to simply put, we as humans keep on repeating the same mistakes, and that's why they said that we must learn from history. I mean, we're not talking about battles and empires and kingdoms over here. It's just our personal history as well. That's something that I learned from you. Keeping journal is super important. I'm sure this predicament that you're going through right now must have taught you a lot of things, must have given you a lot of insights as to the causes, as to the solution, a lot of things. And once you have those things, once you have self-reflected, and if you then apply those things to make sure that prevention is better than cure, then it won't happen. But since we humans, especially now, we're so weak, we're weaklings, and we have the attention span of a goldfish, we will of course forget these things, and we will of
yeah,
course not apply those things. And it's like what Matthew McConaughey has said in one of his like amazing speeches. I love his speeches, the vigor he has. He
yeah.
says that you keep eating cake every day and we'll see how long it lasts. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Yeah. Honestly, it's we're at the end of the day we're humans, right? We're not perfect. We're bound to make mistakes again and again and again. We're forgetful. Our memories aren't perfect. So journaling, keeping a note of how you react to things, what mistakes you made, how your experience was, and what that led to for yourself and your surrounding, it can just really help you not repeat those mistakes, right? And but health is something else. Like I just come back to it again and again. It's just something we deep down always know, right? You know before you eat that chocolate or cake or whatever it may be that it's not good for you. You know sleeping late is not good for you. You know you're not working out, it's not good for you. Are you eating a chocolate?
I am dark chocolate.
Okay, dark chocolate is fine, I guess. But anyway, regardless, it's about balance, and you should, like, I'm not saying be fully, have a strict army regiment to follow and everything. It's up to you how you want to live your life. But the problem begins when you plan on doing or not doing a certain thing, but then end up doing that. So let's say I plan on sleeping at a certain time, or I don't plan on having dessert tonight, but I still do, right?
True.
So, and in that moment, you're just making that subconscious impulsive decision that ends up compromising your health. And we do that not knowing the true implications of that action.
I believe that that is the perfect answer, but I'll just add a little tangent to it. It has to do a lot with influence as well. I believe you've mentioned this so many times. We are the average of five people that we hang around with or have the most interaction with. I believe for everyone listening right now, just close your eyes and imagine those five closest people and just assess, quickly assess. I mean, we're not doctors, we're not physicians or anyone's, and we don't have the ultimate qualification on the right, but what we can do is just make a very layman guess
Share
or
our
a layman
perspective.
assessment.
We're
Exactly.
just sharing our perspective.
Just close your eyes and just imagine what are their physical status as, at the moment. Are they obese? And I don't mean obese by 50 kgs. An obese person can be by 2 or
Overweight,
3
yes.
kgs.
Overweight.
Exactly. An overweight would be a better thing. Are they giving necessary time during the day, like such as 30 minutes for exercise? What does their diet palette look like, etc., etc.? What does their habit look like? And you will get your answer. I believe, and I can only speak from my personal experience because for the longest time, and still, I am such an unhealthy person. Um, Sometimes I just look at the mirror and I'm disgusted by what I see in the reflection. It is true. Because I only say that because in Stoicism, there is a concept that when uh, before dying, it is a shame that if a person cannot achieve their true physical status, and I do not mean
Yeah.
that in any aesthetic form. I don't mean go out and build a Greek body. I mean just be honest with your body. Just be like, give it what it wants and just be true to it. Just be honest with it. So yes, for me, the average of the five people that I used to hang out with, or still am. I mean, I'm trying to change that average, but it's just not at that par, and that shows a lot of things. And why I say influence per meet is because you are dealing with them daily, you are looking at them daily, and what you see is normal. However, if you change that average, and if you started hang around with or add influence of people who are at a better physical health status, I'm sure you will start looking at them and you will start looking at yourself and see that you are not normal now. Now you must reach that new normal. So I agree. It's we keep repeating those mistakes, we keep repeating those things because we're not honest with ourselves. We're not true with ourselves. We do not keep promises. We always I mean, like, deceive ourselves and do not
Yeah.
keep our promises. And at the same time, at a minor proportion, the influence plays a huge part.
I think it's more than people actually think. Maybe consciously, your interaction with your surrounding or those five people per se is limited, and you're trying to be very conscious of what kind of energy you exchange from them or the cues you pick up from them, things they're doing, how do they affect you. But people forget that a lot of the energy, actions, things you pick up, how the sensory thing you sensory energies you pick up on, be it through your smell, your sight, your touch,
Yes,
it's
exactly. Yeah.
always being registered, right? And you're not able to unpack all of these energies within yourself, but they do affect you to some level, right? So if you're in a surrounding where all they talk about is relaxing, having junk food, or just an
Exactly.
example, right? No matter
Exactly.
how
Yeah.
much you go
No,
on.
I mean, for sure. I mean, like, friends would ask you to hang out for drinks or for a smoke or for this or that, or just go to this fast food place and this and that. And I mean, come on, like, it's fine. Like, you would try to pick out a healthy option, and then you would be bombarded with comments and suggestions that, oh, just don't have it tonight. Tonight, just enjoy, etc., etc. These are I'm sure I know, like, people know what I'm talking about. It's just that they will try to become the crabs. I mean, these are people that we love, but
Yeah,
it's yeah, they will become
yeah,
the crab at that moment instantly, and then damn, you make the decision that it's, and then the cycle repeats, and we come down to what you said. Then we deceive
100%.
ourselves.
And it's just a role that you play in that certain situation. We're not trying to shame anyone here. I have played that role. Anas has played that role. When you're in you tell your friends to do something as well, right? We always It's not a person is right or wrong. It's just in a situation they might end up acting in a way
Yeah,
that may be not the most suitable. It's not the most suitable for you. So it's more situation based. We're not trying to shame any person, or if
exactly.
that
Yeah,
makes sense.
and it's fine. Like, they want you to enjoy, they want you to get the vibe that they're in, and I mean, like,
Yeah, you get their
it's
perspective,
fine.
why
Yeah,
it's happening.
but let's guys, let's try to change that. I mean, if a person is really looking after what they're eating, or if a person is abstaining from something, let's give them the room. Let's encourage them. Let's
Yeah.
support them, or might as well even join them.
100%. I think this is something that, we've been listening since a very long time, average of 5 people. We just had this conversation as well. And they say if if it's not changing your life for the better, or if it's not, that
Yeah.
average doesn't work out for you, change your circle, right? I journaled on this and thought about this for a very long time, and how I gonna the conclusion I came to was, you can't just change your circle, right? These are maybe family members or your childhood friends or people you live next to. Maybe these are the only people you know, right? It could be anything, right? And you can't just, uh, you know, just abandon your relationship with
Yes,
them, or
sir.
just leave them. So, what I did was, don't change your circle, but change them. Like, don't replace them,
Amazing.
but change them. Grow
This is
together.
revolutionary.
Yeah, grow together, improvise together. And I feel like it's a harder process. It takes more effort, it takes more time, but I can genuinely say with first hand experience that it's possible, and it does wonders for yourself, for the people around you, and the relationship you share with them, right? And I would honestly say, like, you know you need to set that precedent, that bar, that this is this and this is this. I don't chill past this time. I don't drink on weekdays, blah, 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 whatever it may be for you, right? I'm not here to decide what's good and bad for you. That's for you to decide. I'm just trying to explain that if you do decide to do something intentionally, don't then make unintentional decisions, like subconscious decisions, not uh, like unintentional decisions that harm you eventually. So just living life with intentions, like you say all the time as well, right?
Absolutely. This is please go ahead.
So it takes some time, but once you set that bar, that president, your friends around you, the 5 people around you, they understand, and they gonna adjust to your routine, your timetable, your preferences, things you like, things you don't like, right? Because you have clearly stated that this is what I like, this is what I don't like. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not. So they kind of adjust to it, and they kind of pick up on that energy as well, right? If
Yes.
the 5 people around you aren't what you need them to be, maybe you be what you want to be and attract them to, you know in the end, you're just moving forward or backward. So
I agree with you at a certain extent. I mean, this is um, something the most precious to me is family and friends. There is nothing that comes close after myself. After
yeah,
myself,
yeah,
because hey, we got to keep our cup full, right? This is what we talk about. So, of course, that goes without saying.
yeah,
Sometimes yes, we will try. Both you and I know that we never give up, and especially giving up on our friends is never an option, especially our family. Whenever someone needs something, we both know how hard life is and how hard making these decisions are. However, I do say, do that, most definitely do that. We should never ever ever, and we should be smart about it. And maybe in the later podcast we'll do an entire podcast about this. I love this idea about how we can, this average of 5 people, how we can level all of us up together and become wiser together. Why not?
yeah, yeah,
However, I say do not lose yourself in that process. Do it at a certain extent. Solicit your advice. That is always good. However, if it comes down to the point that no matter how hard you're trying to pull them up, maybe they might not be ready at that point. Maybe certain other circumstances might just be not good for them. Let it be. They will eventually pick up on your vibe, pick up on your energy, pick up on your influence, see where you're going, and they're
yeah.
going to come running after you. So that's just a little tangent I wanted to add. I also wanted to like dissect this saying that we always hear, like about health as well. Um, like we've been hearing about it ever since like we were children, ever since like we were in school, and I never really understood it. What does health is wealth mean to you, Pramit?
I can answer that question in a very, there's a lot of ways to answer this, but I can answer that in a very simple way, which is by a, by asking you a question again, which
Okay.
is, if I give you $100 million and you only have 3 days to live, Would you take it?
No.
So that explains you, and that you can question anybody whoever is listening to this podcast. Just question yourself: if you were to get $100 million or whatever the figure you want to put it there, right? Whatever the figure is, but you only have 3 days to live. Let's say 3 billion, 300 billion, but you only have 3 days to live. Would you take it? No, you wouldn't, right? Because you
No
only
one
have
would.
3 days to live, right?
Yeah.
So
That
that
is
tells you.
that is stupendous. You've leave me dumbfounded with that
Just think
response.
about
Amazing. Amazing.
like
Yeah.
when your days are worth $1 million. Like I don't even know what how to quantify the value of what your
We can't.
days are worth and what your life is worth, right?
Can't.
So it only makes sense that you invest more and more in it, and you only, because I've been through this very recently where I suffered through a back injury and I felt so helpless, couldn't do anything. I truly realized that health is truly wealth. If you're not healthy, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. I'm not saying healthy. You could be unhealthy but functional. I'm just saying, like, having a sickness or illness, like that kind of, if you're sick or if you're unhealthy in that regard. So, yeah, that's my answer to your
Brother, that is just a very proper answer, and I'm just going to add into that. Most definitely, this is something that, oh, honestly, like I don't like to keep a lot of regrets. They just make my heartbeat go faster. But honestly, I really wish that I would have understood the meaning of this. I would have understood the meaning of being sick and losing on days. I Health is everything. I mean, it's just I'm going to read out a quote, from
yeah, please.
Marcus Aurelius, and it goes like, and yet what has to borne by anyone who takes care to keep his body in good condition is far lighter and far pleasure than those subjected to that out of shape person for a poor body. This is basically Marcus Aurelius just simply saying that a person who is in a good shape makes good decisions. But a person who is not in a good shape, and we're not talking about mental shape right now, we're talking about physical shape precisely. He says
Yeah,
that again, good shape, good decision equals to bad shape equals to bad decision. And again, this is 1,000 year old, these things are thousands of years old, but it still holds true to this day. The ROI, the return on investment on health is just like not quantifiable. Like you said, I would even put it at $1 billion. Like one day could be worth billions of dollars. That's why you see these trillionaires, these I guess no one is a trillionaire right now, but let's say these billionaires invest
yeah,
in health. This is what Daniel was also talking about with AI being used to diagnose diseases and everything. And you see
yeah,
all of these people doing it. So, yes, the ROI on making good, healthy decisions for your physical body yields great amounts of results. And again, well, over here, we're not talking about money in particular. It is wealth in terms of your friendships, in terms of your relationships, in terms of the good actions that you do. I mean, both of us know ever since we've started on this journey, ever since we've been doing this religiously as much as we can, we've been making amazing decisions for ourselves in terms of every aspect of our life. So, guys, yes, health is wealth in this way. The return on investment that you get for everything just compounds. You
yeah,
make a good decision to start eating healthy today, it is going to yield in a beautiful you, in a beautiful family, in a beautiful business, in a beautiful side hustle. You getting great at sports, you getting great at any particular skill that you want. Maybe you want to learn how to dance, swim,
yeah.
cycle, anything that you want to do. The ROIs are tremendous.
Yeah, it just comes back to that thing. It might be hard for people to comprehend, like how does good body leads to good decisions, uh, and obviously we're no doctor, scientist, whatever. We've not done any, but I'm sure you can find scientific evidence that suggests that exercising, working out regularly, keeping fit. Uh, has to then you if you're keeping physically fit, that has some crossover to you being mentally fit as well, and eventually you uh
You
if
look good, you feel good.
you
That is
look good,
true.
you feel good. Yeah,
I,
I'm sure
I, I
that.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe in that
100%.
so much. I mean,
Yeah,
look, it's for me, it's about energy levels. I'll be very honest.
yeah,
We could not do this what we're doing right now. Both you and I, have our jobs as well. Both you and I have family responsibilities. Both you and I have our other welfare projects going on and our social life to look after, etc., etc., etc. And then we also have this. We
Yeah.
could not do this if we did not take care of our wealth, if health,
Health.
sorry,
Yeah.
and if we did not look after ourselves and have the necessary energy levels. To me, it's all about that. I cannot. I mean, it's come on. Like I said, we're getting older, right? We will not have the same energy levels as we will afterwards in a while, in a couple of years. Like it's now, it's unfortunately it's at a downward slope right now. If you do not take charge, if you are not on top of it, if you do not dominate your health, it's like you said, no negotiating with the mind. Get it done. You
No
are doomed.
negotiation.
I am telling you, I have friends, and even myself, 1 year ago, damn, I had the energy level of a 50-year-old. I literally did. I was complaining, I was
Yeah.
moaning, I was BIing, like I was just like, I can't do this, I can't do that. And of course, if you put in junk into your body,
Trash
you're
in,
not
trash out.
exactly trash in, trash out, and you're not going to have the necessary energy levels. I cannot do this. I mean, in order to do this, I'm waking up at 4. I'm working out. I'm preparing for this podcast, and I'm right here with you with the same energy level. After this, I gotta do 9 to 9, sorry, 9 hours worth of work. Then after that, I'm going to come back to this work again, and then other work again. Then I'm going to swim, and then I'm going to sleep. Impossible if I am not taking care of my diet, if I'm not having my fruits, if I'm not having my vegetables, if I'm not having my supplements. It is impossible. I'll get to the practical tips and tricks, but guys, come on. There is a notion these days. I'm just gonna go on a tangent here. I'm so sorry because this infuriates me a lot. Like, come on. People nowadays are saying that, oh, it is okay to be obese, it is okay to be overweight,
Oh, yeah.
and that there are better things. I've heard this, I've seen videos where people are saying, influencers are saying that there are better things than working out, that there are better time utilization than working out. I really hope I see that guy after 5 years, by his ideologies and the shape that he was in. I mean, all I can do is just pray to God that he comes to this understanding, that he lives not only for himself, for his family, for his mother, for his future children, etc., etc. Because you cannot. Being unhealthy leads to death. It is as simple as that. It is not okay to be fat. It is not okay to eat trash. It is not okay to not do your research. It is not okay to normalize these things. It is not okay
Yeah.
at all. I need
That's
you.
the
Your
most
family
dangerous.
needs you. Everyone needs you. Yes.
That is, in my opinion, the most dangerous when you start normalizing it as a society, which has been going on right now. You then don't think of it as a problem. To be able to find a solution, first you have to realize and accept that there is a problem, right? And we're just moving backwards, right? We're in a position where we're appreciating body positivity and acceptance and this and that, and we don't see for stuff what it really is. What you don't understand is why we're moving backwards is because we live in a world of capitalism. You being fat and unhealthy, it benefits someone, right? And they lobby on a level you can't even imagine to contribute to you being in the position you are, if that makes sense,
It
right?
makes, it is the truth.
Pharmaceutical industry are, they're one of the biggest lobbyers, and uh, it's they benefit from you being sick and unhealthy and obese. And I see on social media there's this narrative of body positivity and acceptance and accept who you are and this and that. Accept who you are, but don't live in denial that that's healthy, or
Absolutely.
that's self-love. It's really not. Self-love is really taking care of your body, how it's been evolutionary, right? It's not you eating 12 donuts a night is not self-love. I'm sorry to say. That's my opinion personally. If somebody's offended by it or doesn't agree with it, I'm happy to have a discussion like two civil people. But I just feel like why this has been going on, there's an agenda behind it, and people can't see that agenda, which has been pushed on through pharmaceutical industries. It's kind of like arms and ammunitions, right? Every person should have a gun. Why?
Hmm.
It benefits them. You don't understand. We live in a world of capitalism, right? So all this narrative, body positivity and acceptance of who you are and stuff, I I think that's crap. You should you
Yeah.
should. It's the easy way out, right? And a person who's in that situation, uh, that's what they want to listen to, and that's what they kind of find comfort in, right? What they
Yes,
are,
sir.
and nobody. I believe in telling people the truth and the right thing, even if that's the harsh reality. But you give it to them, right? You don't just go with whatever they want to listen to. So
People don't accept that is the thing. And I mean, I'm gonna bring my blood pressure up by going into this, but that is for another day. I remembered one thing that you told me, which was balance is key.
yeah, balance
Balance
is
is
key.
key.
Balance
Yeah,
is key.
I mean, like you said, that is fine. Like, have your donut once a day. Okay, once a day is even too much, but yeah,
It's it's for
just
you to
enjoy in
find out.
moderation, like you
Yeah,
always say.
100%. Be true to yourself. First is be absolutely true to yourself. Be self critical. Don't look at yourself, don't be personally attached to it. Look at it from an observer's mind. If you were not in your feet, if you were just look at it objectively, if that makes sense, right?
It makes
That's all
sense.
I would say. So,
Like
uh,
have your presence of mind when you're doing
yeah,
these things.
yeah. And I just say we're not trying to preach here how you should live your life, what decisions you should make. We're solely just trying to make sure that you live up to the intentions you set for yourself, right? And most times we know what to do, we know what's right for us, we know what we should be doing in order to go where we want to go, but we don't do it. We're just there's just you talk about those seven deadly sins, right? They're all around us, man, and they're growing, and the attraction and the forces that they kind of emit, it's they're so
It's
powerful.
the brother, it's the lady in the red. Have you seen the Matrix?
I have my memory is really bad, so I don't remember.
It's
I've seen
fine.
the movie.
It's yeah, it's a really old movie. The first
Yeah,
Matrix. So this main character, I'll explain this concept of lady in the red, and people will understand. My God, their eyes will open today. In Matrix, the main character, his name is Neo. So basically, Matrix, the Neo has been given this red pill that opens up his eyes and he sees the world for what it truly is. That it is a simulation controlled by machines. Like we'll get into that
yeah,
later.
yeah,
However, what Neo sees is when his mentor sort of guy who's basically opening his eyes, he's guiding him around the streets of New York, and he's walking. He sees a lady in the red. Now this lady is wearing a beautiful one piece suit, like sleeveless, and she's gorgeous, like 11 on 10, right? And everyone, yeah, everyone turns around and looks at her. Everyone is just looking at her, and like she's distracting. Neo, however, when this lady walks, right, his mentor is talking to him, and his mentor is explaining things to him, right? And he's saying important stuff. However, Neo is what? Neo is distracted by this lady in red. And then he
yeah.
snaps him. He says, look at her again. And when he looks at her again, the lady in the red changes into this Agent Smith. It's like a whole thing. But the idea is that what you are referring to is having like you always say this. Now it's starting to make sense to me as well. Have the presence in mind,
Never
have
mind. Yeah,
the understanding to identify your ladies in the red. Now again, these ladies in the red can be your friends and family who do not have that sufficient knowledge about health, about a healthy lifestyle. It's fine. That's fine. It could be your own self. You could be the lady in the red as well. It could be that donor shop that just opened downstairs. It could be a new movie that came out during your assignments. Like, it can be anything. My God,
it
we
could be
have
in the
ladies in
form
the
of a
red.
person as well.
Yes, we must identify the lady in the red, and we must do not look at her. We must learn to focus on our lady in the red, if that makes sense. Like on our keep our eyes on the prize and not the lady
Yeah,
in the red.
yeah. And there's quite a few of them in our lives. Everybody has them. You might not be aware of them, but if you sit down peacefully, just think about them with a peaceful mind, calm mind, you will slowly start to unwrap this stuff and truly find out what those red flags are in your life. It could be in any form, right? It could be a person, it could be an idea, it could be a belief, could be an opinion, could be things, tangible things like food, like you mentioned, a TV show, could be anything, right? And that's why I keep emphasizing the sheer importance of self awareness, of presence of mind. It's just when you truly invest some time in sitting peacefully and having that one on one chat with yourself, right? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? Where are things that I slip? Where are, at what point in time do I feel attracted to certain things, or, you know, I don't feel very energetic towards certain things, right? Be it working out or whatever, right? So it's just, I people don't realize that we're not fully conscious beings. We have some level of consciousness, but we're not fully. 96% of our mind, don't quote me on this, it might be up and down, I heard somewhere, but 96% of our mind is subconscious. 40% of our actions, activities are deeply subconscious. What that means is we do those things without thinking. We have certain habits, certain way of doing some things. For example, thoughts that don't require action. What
Absolutely.
hand do you use to press buttons? How do you walking and stuff like that, that doesn't require, that is a subconscious activity. Now, walking in your lawless mind, a lot of people subconsciously eat dessert all the time, right? Wouldn't work out, sleep at random times, wouldn't invest in themselves, subconsciously be hanging out with people that they, if they were to truly sit down and do a conscious self reflection, they wouldn't want to hang out with them. So hanging out with those people. So a lot of our actions are very subconscious on that level. So self awareness really just helps you to unwrap those things and change the trajectory of those subconscious actions, because the subconscious mind is just a result of, your mind is an algorithm, right? It's built up of all the experiences that you have lived throughout your life and how you've unpacked them in your mind, right? Now, based on that, when you're in an open environment outside, wherever you see a certain thing, you get a certain sensation, certain emotion going on within your body, and then you subconsciously act on it. So that is
It's
just
like finding your
automatic.
favorite dessert in a shop. That happens to me.
Yeah, you can't resist. You just go, right?
Oh, I love
There's
chocolate
no,
so much. It's just
yeah.
sad.
How many times do we,
Every
even
day.
if it's the right thing, not even just chocolate, right, just day to day daily activity, how many times do we stop and really think, why am I doing this the way I do this? Be it anything in life, right? The way you sit, the way you sleep, the way you walk, the way you greet people,
I
could
don't
be
think we
anything, right?
do.
And it's not necessarily that you're doing it wrong. It just goes to show, if you sit down and really think about it, it's always coming from somewhere, right? And that gives you the power to change it if you want to, for your betterment, right? So again, I feel like health is important, but if you don't have that presence of mind or self awareness, you will never be able to recognize that lady in red and take the actions that you want to. You will never be able to recognize the power and the energy that lady in red is
Holds
has,
on
and
you. Yeah, who has
holds
over
on
you.
you and occupies you. It's just like kind of brainwashes
Absolutely.
you in that moment, right? When we see that, when we see our new movie come out, or see that favorite dessert, or it just occupies you when you can't see anything else. You just gotta move towards that lady in red.
Yeah, no. With presence of mind, I this time around when I had my personal experience with health, I developed this thing called like a crisis protocol. And this crisis protocol basically, because right before this I mean, you were a witness to that, like I was working at a tremendous productivity rate that in my
Yeah.
own personal and professional life I have never. And when this thing happened, it really shook me off, and it does to a lot of people as well. We see a lot of people coming off injuries. There is one player that I have a prime example of. It is, his name is Zion Williamson. This guy was a college level basketball prodigy. They even said that, and by the way, like he has an amazing height reach advantage. He has the size for it, and they said that he was the next LeBron James. Like, he literally was. However, for all his hype and everything, he used to get injured a lot because of his health issue, because mostly because of his weight issues. It's very difficult for a person to be this heavy and this athletic and not get injuries. It's just very difficult. And unfortunately, that guy is still in that funnel that we talked about, the rut funnel. He's always gaining weight, he's always getting injured, and I think it's been 3 or 4 years since he's been inducted into the NBA. He's not had a full season. And
Uh,
yeah, and I see that he does not have a crisis protocol. I relate to him with me as well, that when I had that, when I was sick, when I was down to my knees, like when I was like, there is no light at the end of the tunnel, we resort to pleasures, we resort to things that just quickly release dopamine, and that just might just quickly change our reality for now. Like, for
quick
example, we could
fix.
be
Yeah.
having quick fixes, yeah, like like instant indulgenceness, like there's no delayed gratification, there's instant gratification. Again, might be wasting time watching your favorite movies, serials, etc. Might be just ordering food, like might just be talking to your friends. It can be a whole host of other things. So I was really, knocked out of my rhythm. But once I recovered, once I got back into it, I'm really thankful to God. I developed this crisis protocol and I wanted to share with you guys. However, before this, speaking of presence of mind, I want to share one quote by Seneca. I'm going to read these things out because I'm on a journey right now. And like Parmeet said, that we really don't want you guys to quote on us. And I don't want to make up things on my head. I would rather read than say something which is not true,
No,
right?
that's
So,
acceptable, of course.
I'll
Yeah.
just go ahead and what he says. What he says, that if you meet sickness in a sensible manner, do you really think you are achieving nothing? You will be demonstrating that even if one cannot always beat it, one can always bear an illness. There is room for heroism, I assure you, in bed as anywhere else. This is fantastic. This is fantastic because when we're sick, and this happened to me as well, I felt useless. I felt like I am not doing anything in my life. I'm not doing the things that are moving the needle. Seneca says in his last line again, there is room for heroism, I assure you, in bed as anywhere else. He's just saying, if you are
Wow.
fighting sickness, if you're trying to get over it, dude, just believe that you are doing something. That, in fact, I believe you are doing the most important thing. It circles back to what you said, that if a person is sick, all they want is to get healthy, right? And Seneca says is this as well, that there is room for heroism in bed. This is why I love the Stoics. My God. And this like, now I'll go ahead and share the my crisis protocol. The first thing that I recognize is that you must recognize that you are sick and will need to tap into your will reserve. You must have your will ready, the same will, the same strength, the same mental fortitude, and you must be prepared to tap into it because you're going to need more of it. You must follow your doctor's order to the teeth. Everything that he says, stay away from. Everything he says, do. There's a reason why you're visiting him. He's a doctor, much more knowledgeable. Let's just listen to him. Increase sleep duration. This will help you stay away from things, like I said, from instant gratification things. The more time you sleep, the more time your body recovers as well. The more time, like I said, the less time that you have for other things as well. But most importantly, it's for recovery. And then recognize the importance of lost days. Like, for example, if you deviate away
Yeah.
from your plan of recovery, just understand that it will take you more time to recover. And that means that there will be more lost days. Even if it was supposed to take 1 week, if you deviate from your protocol, if you indulge into instant gratification things such as junk food, or just like things that you're not supposed to do, like staying up late, etc., not getting like the sunlight, etc., it's going to take you more days to recover. And then indulge and increase the quantity of superfoods in your diet, such as ginger, beetroot, leafy green vegetables. Set a date on a calendar for full recovery. Like, even, like the doctor says, it's going to take you 1 week to recover. Set a date that today it will be the last day of my sickness, and from here on out I will recover. And the last thing that I truly realize is that sweat as much as you can. Whenever you get the time to sweat as much as you can, get those things out of your body, get those toxins out of your body. If you have a sauna at your house or near your house accessible, get into it. If not, then just grab a big pot, fill it with water, turn the heat up, put a towel over your head, and let it leak out of you. These were
Yeah.
my crisis protocol. And from here on out, even if I do get sick, I'm going to follow this.
I think that's wonderful what you shared. One thing that really caught my attention was, and I want to expand on, is having that belief and mindset that you are getting better, right? That you're okay, you're not sick. If you keep telling yourself, I'm sick, I can't do this, it's the self talk. And people don't really realize or understand the implications of self talk. It can actually really have a profound effect on what result that generates for you, right? It's
Yes.
the, if like I realized this honestly, like when I used to, and I can kind of connect it back to this health thing. When I used to run for the marathon, right? When I was training, and I used to take it as misery, like, I just have to do it. I have to run 15 kilometers, and it's just 1.5 hour you're running with your mind, and the self-talk you're having. It's I The self-talk I was having was, this is really hard, but you have to do this, you'll get there. And then towards the last month of it, I tried to experiment with this. I changed it. I let myself to believe, which I do, that I was achieving greatness. This was just another step for me to be something great, right? And I was doing something so that I could be very proud of, and it's a big accomplishment, right? Running a half marathon, not everybody can
It
do it.
is
These are things I was
huge,
telling myself,
huge.
and because of that, uh, because I was running towards greatness, I would smile. I started smiling. I was just smiling that this is my path towards greatness, and that just had that made everything so easy. I can't even tell you, like, just
Yes,
something
sir.
as simple as smiling and the self-talk you have with yourself. I don't know if there's any scientific evidence behind it, but
There
what I
is.
know, there has to be, right? There's some sort of, like,
It's
whatever.
the placebo effect.
I think there's one more as well, which is that what your mood is, the way you're talking to yourself, that has some kind of, it has an effect on the chemicals within your
Yeah,
body,
that's
and
what
that
I'm talking
kind of.
about. It's
Ah,
the
okay.
placebo. It's the placebo effect. So basically, the placebo. Real quick, placebo effect is basically they did an experiment long, 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 long time ago. They basically got two groups of people. Again, don't quote on me. Don't quote me on this.
Me
It's
on this,
just very,
yeah.
very simple explanation. Two sets of people. Both of them are sick. They have two sets of pills. One is filled with the necessary chemicals to like paracetamol, etc., and the other one is these are blank pills. And they gave it to both of them, and yeah, like both of them got well. So
Both of them got.
you're yeah. So why? Because the person who was taking the pill, the empty one, the placebo pill, basically their body, like you said, your body is fully equipped with everything. Your body, I mean, you have a freaking immune system, you have lymph nodes and everything that does this stuff. So all you need to do is just put your body to the right direction, put your body to the right mindset.
And you can do that through mindset and energy and belief, right? You can create that without any external products or pills or whatever it may be, right?
Yes, sir.
And I feel like we generally, like, the world hasn't, uh, you know, hasn't advanced to a level where they are experimenting with, psychology and how that can, uh, be used as a medicine, right? We obviously just always resort to tangible medicines and things, pharmaceuticals, but just thought process and mindset can truly have a significant impact on your health and well-being as well. So coming back to your health thing, just believing that you're getting better, you're fine, there's nothing wrong, is it can help you with your recovery.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
like I said, I am such a weak person. I say this a lot, and I definitely throughout these 2.5 years have developed a lot of frameworks for myself. If you allow me, I would like to share some practical tips as well that I have
Yeah,
used
please.
for myself. Again, like Parmeet says, we're not preaching anything. Do your own research, establish your own frameworks, talk to people who are actually
Yeah.
qualified to do this, because I have done so as well. We believe in talking to our mentors, we believe in talking to people who have far, far better knowledge than us. So, what I've done is for myself, but before I get into this practical tips, you know, um, I would just like to mention another Stoic, Epictetus. So this guy was a slave before he became like best, one of the best Stoics out there. There's a book on Stoic about Epictetus wrote his Epictetus Discourse. But I just want to share an interesting thing. He was a slave, and one time he screwed up, and his master twisted his leg. He kept on twisting his leg, twisting, 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 and then this guy is saying that you will break my leg, you will break my leg, and his master kept on twisting it, and then it broke. So this guy, whatever greatness he achieved, he did with a limp, and he says that again. I want to just touch on a little upon dichotomy of control. And he says that we must accept the natural order of the world, and we must believe that there is growth, there is progress in the face of adversity. So this is the mindset that we have need, like have to establish. And from here on out, like, but you must also understand that there are certain things that you must also take care of before, like you advertently, like go into dichotomy of control. It's fine, like natural order of things will happen. However, there are these steps that if you follow, if you do for yourself, you might be able to achieve a better health. It has helped me so far, and let me share it with you. So number one is obviously sleep. You must set yourself to bed early and then rise early. Anything plus 6 hours is good. Nothing out of bags. This is something that I'm trying to follow. I fail every day. I'll be very honest. I'm not gonna share things which I'm not able to do. Even yesterday, I had like a cookie which was entirely made out of eggs, but still it was out of a bag. I try not to have things out of bags now as little as possible.
What do you
Why?
mean out of
Because
bags?
processed things,
Oh,
packaging.
processed food. Okay.
Yes,
Packaged
I
food.
tried
Okay.
I tried yeah, I try to have things which are as fresh and organic as possible as they can be, like just being sensible. Like of course milks are coming in bottles. Like I will try to find
Yeah.
the glass bottle milk, but it is what it is. I mean, you get my point, right? Processed things, no. Eat
Yeah.
enough protein. There are several calculators out there that can tell you how much protein you should eat. Um, Weight training or resistance training, that helps a lot. um, Cardiovascular training is good, but weight training, I would say, is even better, because the more muscles that you have on your body, that means the less fat you will have as well. um, Diet should consist majority of things grown from the earth. This is thanks to Parmeet introduced me to a documentary called Game Changers. We'll put the link up as well. And in that, it shows us a lot of case studies of a lot of top performing athletes who have now gone vegan. We're not promoting veganism.
Yeah. I
However,
just wanna.
however, the idea is that what really stuck with me in this point was that we see an ox. We have an example of an ox, like as strong as an ox. What does an ox eat? An ox is not gulping protein powders or anything. An ox is eating things from the earth. As simple as that. That image stuck with me, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Let's have only things grown from the earth. You can like, I mean, obviously top of my head is fruits and vegetables and other things, but like just do your own research. Another thing, point number 7, which is that you can drink your fruits and veggies. It is difficult to eat them. It is quite time consuming. I at least I find it quite tedious, and that deviates away from me. So I try to find things which makes my life easier. So what I do is I take a lot of fruits and vegetables, all of the superfoods like beet, apple, carrot, kale, etc., etc. I blend them up, and now I'm left with one glass of superfood, and I just drink it. It's perfectly normal. You're not losing on any vital nutrient or minerals or vitamins. You can do this, and you should do this if you are finding it tedious. Makeup for other things in supplements. It's okay to take supplements, do your own research, which you are lacking in, maybe do your blood work. However, the condition is that at least you must have some percentage of it in your diet. For example, if you want to take vitamin D as a supplement, that's fine, take it. However, find foods that have vitamin D, because the idea is that you cannot complete your supplementary requirements just by eating a normal diet. It takes a lot of quantity, it takes a lot of everything, and it can get expensive if you are doing that in a diet. And then at the end of the day, you'll be left with a calorie surplus. So it's fine to take supplements. That is all. Like that is fine. Number 8 is, at the same time, nourish and protect your mind. Like Parmeet said, presence of mind is quite important. Listen to podcasts, listen to videos, listen to tapes, listen to audios, read books that are helping you nourish your mind with knowledge and information and facts and things that help you become better. Do not feed trash to it as well. It is my philosophy. I stay away from news. I stay away from any person who has a slightly inch of negative influence in my life. I stay away like the plague. Number 10 is take care of your dental hygiene as well. Please, please, please brush your teeth. Your teeth are very, very important. And if God forbid something happens to them, it is a long and painful road towards recovery. And last is invest in good relationships. Have and find relationships which are helpful to you, which are positive to you. Like Parmeet said, that you must be able to identify, self reflect that if they're helping you grow, if they're helping you to progress or regress. Those are my practical tips that I use and try to use and fail every day as well. But I am trying to keep myself healthy, to keep myself better, and again, chase a superior us. Thank you so much for
That's
listening
amazing, bro.
to this
That's
entire thing.
amazing.
I
You
just
put in
wanted
a
to.
lot of effort into that, so kudos to you and thank you for
No,
sharing. I think they're
it's
very easy
yes,
to follow,
yes.
insightful
I'm so
tips,
thank
and
you. So thankful.
it's definitely, you can live a balanced life following those tips, and I think these will just genuinely help you cultivate a life where you can live more intentionally and truly do the things you aspire to do, right?
Yes, sir.
uh, we all have ambitions. We're evolutionary, we're visionaries, we all have ambitions, we all have things we want to achieve, things we want to accomplish. The problem is that we're not able to realize that, right? But things like this genuinely help you
And
make an
I want to
effort towards
just one
realizing
more
that.
thing, like this last part, just invest in good relationships. See, again, I'm so thankful to you, Parmeet. It's when you like, I feel like my journey really started when you showed Game Changers to me, and I highly encourage this to watch, but then also do your research as well again, because it can be
Yeah,
quite influencing.
question.
Yes, yes, question. And I just want to thank. Like, I'm so happy because I've seen you always in great physical health, and that has always inspired me. We have other friends as well, like for example, Rasul Nasir, Reber Khan. These are two people that come to
True
my mind
friend.
who are in great physical health. And when I look at you guys, all I want to do is be like you guys, because you guys are taking care of your body. Our bodies are temple. It is a self-reflection. And what I see
It's
is
our
that
temple.
I have brothers, I have friends who take care of their body, and it takes discipline. So kudos to you guys. And again, like, I'm so happy for point number 11, for having these relationships to inspire me. I fail
No,
every day,
thank you, bro.
but you know what? Looking at you guys, that gives me all the motivation that I need. And again, I truly hope you guys also find friends such as these.
No, thank you, bro. That means a lot. I just want to like expand a little bit on the things you mentioned. Processed food, quick tip: food, the less ingredients, the better. We weren't evolutionary. We've It's all based on evolution, right? How we've grown up. We're not used to consuming uh, foods which has hundreds and hundreds of ingredients in them. The less ingredients, the better, right? Game changers. I am not a big believer of veganism. When I watched Game Changers, it changed my perspective fully. Right? I was blown away. Me and my brother watched it separately on the same day, and he came home and he told me, I'm gonna go vegan." I'm like, "Did you watch? Did you watch?" No, this literally happened in Dubai. I asked him, "Did you watch Game Changers?" And he's like, "Yeah, you too." I'm like, "Yeah." Next day we went. We shopped all the vegan stuff, chickpea pasta, this that. Uh, anyway, fast forward a week later, I believe in a balanced diet. I believe meat is important. I believe fish is important. I believe eggs and dairy are important. It's all
Yes.
about balance. It's all about balance. Every person, every individual is different. See what suits you, what works for you. But I don't believe in living on those extremes. I believe in balance. And yeah, live a balanced diet. Have your fruits, have your greens, have your dairy, milk, have your meat sometimes. Fish is very important, right? So experiment with all. That's how I live it. But it might be that, half of the people in the world are lactose intolerant, right?
Oh
They just
wow,
don't
I
know it.
did
To
not.
some extent to it, I might be as well, to some extent to it. Uh, But I can share a documentary on this actually, and we can put it in the link so people can watch this. Like half of the people in the world are lactose intolerant, and I won't say intolerant, but they have some sort of, you know,
Mm,
they're not intolerant. It's all on a spectrum, right? It's on a
yeah.
spectrum. Anyway, one thing, bro, I want to enlighten you as well. You know how we put our fruits and vegetables in shakers or when we cook them? Every food, the way, the form you consume it in, it changes calories and it changes the vitamins and minerals it gives you. So, a banana, if you're eating a banana or you're putting it in a shake and having a banana, two separate things, completely separate things. And this is something I discovered very recently as well. And this is just coming up right now. It's very recent. Doctors are doing research on this. Again, I can share the documentary where you can find more on this. But uh, one simple uh, thing to this is that once you, like, let's say for example banana, when you're chewing it, your system is only able to chew down a certain level of calories, minerals, vitamins, and stuff, right? But when you put it in a juicer and blend it and stuff, maybe you don't realize the full potential of those, or you're just drinking it directly, so it has no contact with your gums, with your teeth, with your mouth, right?
Hmm.
I'm very new to this as well. I have to do more research, but
Yeah, we
this
can
just
for sure.
came
This is news to me as well.
yeah, it just makes me curious. I used to do that as well, take
Mm.
shakes. Now I'm like starting to look more and more into this. Anyway, lastly, relationships. I think that's phenomenal, very important. One thing, like I keep saying, energy works in a way you won't, people really don't understand it. Like it's energy is everything, right? And if you can't form that kind of relationships, you don't have that kind of people with you, find mentors, right? What I did, David Goggins and Wim Hof, two of my OGs. uh, Try to get. I don't personally uh, believe in having mm, believing in a person fully. I like to believe in their ideas. A person, nobody's perfect. I believe Wim Hof has things that I don't like. I believe David Goggin has things that I don't like. I would never, never, ever be want to be fully like, if somebody gave me a chance, oh, would you like to be David Goggins? Not at all. Would I like to be Wim Hof? Not at all. Right. But there are certain ideas, certain concepts, certain theories, frameworks, life lessons that they share that really help me improve my life. So that's what I follow, right? I don't follow everything they do, but find mentors and cherry pick the good side in them, the good ideas in them, and implement and execute on those. So that's it. Uh, and question everything, I would say, with game changers as well. Like, it was actually financed by
Arnold
a company.
Schwarzenegger and everyone, the producers I saw.
No, so what I discovered was they were trying to push a product that was vegan friendly and all
Yeah,
of that. So they kind of, there's agendas behind everything.
everything. True.
Everything. There's an agenda behind everything. So
Yeah, true.
question it, see it for what it is, and then truly
Like it's
understand if it.
the thing was that towards the end they showed two people. They showed two athletes that I just admire a
I
lot.
think it was
And
very one-sided.
yeah, it was very one-sided, and the athletes that they showed were LeBron James and Virat Kohli. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for, like, if these guys are doing these things and they're performing
Even
at
Lewis
that level.
Hamilton.
Yeah, they yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so like
Yeah.
these three people now, my God, like I am getting goosebumps. These people are the greatest of the greatest in their particular sport. And if these guys are doing these things, then like this is what we do, even for our podcast as well. We try to take the best practices. So that's why
Yeah.
I was a little like I got a little sidetracked, but yeah,
Yeah, but anyway, like it's find out for yourself, question everything again and again. That documentary was so well documented. It really changed my at the moment the energy was so I was like, "Oh my god, I can be superhuman."
same,
Right?
same.
Anything superhuman, my tail goes
Yes,
yeah,
both
like
of us.
that's why I am so inspired and follow these Wim Hof and David Goggins. They've been able to do things that are superhuman,
Superhumans,
but
yeah.
I want to unwrap those in a different episode. So I think we can
Yes, sir.
cut this one here. I just want to thank everyone for joining and being a part of this again. Support us in any way you can, please. Anything you don't agree with or anything you agree with, please let us know. This is just the primary goal again is to engage with you and have that conversation. And I feel like through having those conversations, we can learn, question our beliefs, our opinions, and truly grow from there, right? If you just believe something your whole life and don't question it, you're not learning, you're not growing. I like to be proven wrong. I genuinely like to be proven wrong and having that conversation, right? I like to question my position in life, be it my beliefs, opinions, all the time. And Anas is the same. That's why we get along so well. But
Yes.
yeah, so question us, prove us wrong. I want you to prove me wrong because then I'm learning something new, right? And I would credit that to you, right? If you come back to me something, tell me that's not how it is. This is how it's done. I'd love you for that because you'd help me grow, right? So
Yes, sir.
please do that for us, for me, for Anas, for our viewers, for the whole community. So again, yeah, thank you for joining. Support us, and we will see you next Sunday.
Ciao, guys. Take care.